Alright, let's start with a question. Why do some people make habits stick effortlessly, while others fight an uphill battle? You've probably heard the advice. Just repeat it until it becomes automatic. But what if the real struggle isn't forming the habit itself, but something deeper? A recent study on mice just dropped a bombshell on how habits work, and, honestly, it changed how I think about self-improvement. Let me break it down. So, here's the setup. Researchers at Kyoto University trained mice to press a lever for sugar water. At first, the mice worked for rewards. They pressed the lever because it worked. But after a few days, something shifted. The mice kept pressing the lever even when the reward rules changed. They weren't doing it for the sugar anymore. They were doing it because it was routine. Classic habit formation, right? But here's where it gets wild. Not all mice reacted the same. Some kept slamming that lever like it was their job. Others slowed down. And get this, they all started off identical in behavior. So, what explains the difference? Turns out, habits aren't controlled by one brain system. They're run by two, and they work like a switch and a volume dial. Let me unpack this. The first system, connecting the anterior cingulate cortex to the retrosplenial cortex, acts as the habit switch. When this pathway strengthens, it flips a behavior from intentional to automatic. That's the part everyone talks about, repetition turning action into routine. But the second system? The lateral orbitofrontal cortex to the striatum? That's the volume dial. It doesn't decide if a habit forms. It decides how strongly that habit manifests. Some mice had a fire hydrant-level habit, others had a trickle. And this wasn't about willpower or motivation. It was baked into their brain wiring. What makes this fascinating is that it explains why two people can both develop a habit, say, going to the gym, but one ends up obsessed with it while the other barely sticks to it. The habit switch flipped for both, but their volume settings differ. That's a game changer. Now, here's where I get really intrigued. The study found that you could manipulate these pathways, boost or suppress them, and directly control whether a habit formed or how intensely it played out. But here's the catch. This was in mice. All male, all in a controlled lab setting. So, yes, we're not there yet with humans. But if this applies to us, and I think it might, the implications are huge. Think about addiction recovery, OCD, or even why some people can't seem to quit social media. It's not just about forming good habits, it's about managing the strength of those habits once they're locked in. A lot of us blame ourselves for failing at habits, but what if our brains are just wired with different default settings on that volume dial? That's not weakness. That's biology. And this raises a deeper question. If habits are two separate systems, why do we treat them as one? Every productivity guru out there focuses on repetition, 21 days to a new you. But what if the real key is understanding your personal volume dial? Maybe some people need to rewire their switch, while others need to fine-tune the dial. This also explains why habit reversal techniques work for some but not others. We've been treating habits as a monolith when they're actually a duet between two brain systems. From my perspective, this study flips the script on personal growth. It's not just about discipline. It's about self-awareness, knowing whether your struggle is with flipping the switch or controlling the volume. But let's zoom out. If the orbitofrontal pathway, the volume dial, is overactive in people with OCD, as the study hints, this could bridge the gap between healthy habits and compulsive disorders. It's not just that bad habits are stronger, it's that the brain's dial gets stuck on 11. And that opens up a scary but important thought. Could tweaking these pathways one day help people reclaim control? Or, conversely, could we accidentally engineer habits that are too rigid? The ethics here are thorny. But for now, the takeaway is this. Your habit struggles aren't failures. They're the product of two tiny circuits in your brain duking it out. And maybe, just maybe, understanding that is the first step to mastering them, instead of letting them master you. What do you think? Would you want to adjust your brain's habit circuits if you could? Let me know in the comments.